I'm Vivi. This week I went to a virtual viewing for a flat, for buying a flat for the first time. And I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit, about my experience, and it's something that has been happening now with the quarantine and it's all new, and I couldn't find anything online before I went to tell me how it was for other people, so I thought I will just speak about it a little bit for anybody who might need it. This is not really the structure of videos that I've been used to, but I'm quite new to YouTube, so I try to make some structure or like take some notes or at least have a think about what I'm gonna say in advance. And this time I'm not. This time I'm just gonna sit down and do like a story time type video. I don't know, maybe people who do story times actually have a structure. I don't know. But I'll just try to speak as I would with a friend that makes me very nervous because it is the internet after all. So I hope you can forgive me if this is a bit clumsy. So I've done what I would usually do when I look at properties, just look for things that I like in the area that I'm interested in, my price range. I get a hold of the home report either by asking the agency to send me a copy of the home report or by looking online. If it's something that I'm really keen on, I would just look for it myself to see it now. I need to see it now. But if not, I'll just wait for the agency to send me the home report. So that's all the same really, and then I would just, if the home report is what I expected it to be, I would just ask for a viewing. But now I would just ask for a virtual viewing. So I guess it depends if there's someone living at the property that could virtually walk you through the place, or if the agency could send someone to go there and walk you through the place. But I suppose there's still the case that maybe some agencies can't quite do that. But in most cases that I've asked for virtual viewings, or they usually are the ones that like, oh, would you like us to arrange a virtual viewing? So I guess most agencies and most current flat owners or homeowners are doing it nowadays. It's become the new norm, and it's become the new norm so quickly that it's pretty crazy. So in order to arrange a virtual viewing, you need to exchange some personal information, because in the past you would just have the address and you meet there and you decide on time. You would maybe exchange numbers, or they would get your number from the agency just to make sure you are there on time, or if you can't find a place, you would call either most likely the agency. I would always call the agency. I don't think I've ever had the owner's phone numbers or direct contact details, but this time I had to, because you need to have their phone numbers or their emails or something to contact them through. So the agency asked me a few times, and I guess they are very strict with confidentiality, to confirm that I am okay to pass my details to the current owners. And I said yes, and they asked me again a few times. They were like, definitely, okay, you're sure? I was like, okay, yeah, give them. And we arranged to meet through Zoom. Like, they give me a few options, like, do you want to do Zoom, do you want to do FaceTime, do you want to do, what else did they say? Can't remember what else they said. WhatsApp? I don't think they said WhatsApp. Skype? Maybe Skype, I don't know. They were quite on like every platform, so they were quite open to anything. But we decided to meet through Zoom. I actually ended up late. I'm never really late for house viewings because I'm trying to make a good impression, but with working from home, I was at work and I stayed until late in a meeting, and I didn't even realize it was 6 o'clock and I had to call those people. And my phone was of course on silent because I want to focus on my work, because I'm a good employee. So I even missed their call. I feel a bit bad, but I called them right after. I was like, oh, sorry, I was late. I apologized, and they were very nice, and they were willing to get on FaceTime right there. I never actually used FaceTime before this, so I was a bit scared of what FaceTime is. I even said to one of my friends, can you FaceTime me just in case they want to use it, so I can make sure that I know how to use FaceTime? But she didn't. But it was really easy. Like, okay, FaceTime is really easy. But so I came to the meeting. Is it a meeting? I don't know. It's a viewing. It's meeting the other person with a few questions, because it's good to be organized. I don't know, I always prepare questions, but also I had to prepare some extra questions that I would normally not ask them. It would be more like for me to notice when I am there. But this time I had to put them as questions to ask. So for example, things like from the picture, one of the bedrooms looked quite tiny, so I thought, can I fit a desk? Because I always need a desk because I'm such a study kid that I need to have a desk in my bedroom. So I had to ask, how would you be able to show me like that corner that I can't really see in the picture to see if I could fit a desk in the bedroom? And they were very lovely and explained to me like, oh, it's filmed like this, and trying really hard to show me the right things I was interested in. Then the regular questions that I would always ask would be, how much are the factor fees if you are looking for a flat, or the council tax, or any other fees and taxes you pay on the property. I can't actually remember what else I've asked them, so I'm just gonna, let's go together. This is an informal video. Let's just go together and see if I can find my notebook with the questions I had. I take a lot of notes. It's not even funny. My god, this was only like 5 days and I have like 20 pages. Okay, so I broke it. I have it. Okay, furniture. If they leave the furniture, that's a very me question, because I'm like, I don't want to spend money on furniture. Please leave your furniture behind. And they were like, we'll think about it. It's always like that. I'm always asking, are you leaving the furniture behind? And they're like, we'll see. But what it's worth asking, at least you know. Yeah, size of the bedroom to see if I can fit a desk. And then I asked, when are they looking to move out? Are they, oh, sorry. This is informal, but this is too informal. Yeah, and then I asked like the days that they're looking to move out or to sell, just so I know. Always good to know if there's a closing date to the flat. I already knew from the agency that there's no closing date. If you don't know, a closing day is the day that they have to sell the house by, and I guess it's set by the owner and the agency themselves. Like by the end of the month, whatever is the best offer, they will get the house, and that's the closing date. This one didn't have a closing date, so they can postpone for as long as they want until they get the price that they want. And I guess on fees, I've already, sorry, my hair is getting really long and I can't decide if I want to keep having bangs or not, but I don't know. On the fees, yeah, I've asked about like factor fees, council tax, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. I would maybe ask like internet costs and energy supplier, but you can always change them, so it's too variable. I don't really care about that, but you can always ask if it's a very different area that you are in. You can just get an approximation of how they are currently having their costs organized, and maybe you can get some suggestions from a cheaper energy supplier or a cheaper internet provider. Then I also asked, and I don't know if this is like, is this like a foreigner thing? Do British people ask about this? But I always ask, what price do you want? Like, what are you really expecting? Because this price, to be honest, was a bit high for me. Like, the offer over price was okay. I was all like thrilled about it, but the home report was out of my budget. And yeah, I'm still like, I've not put an offer for it. I'm still a bit thinking, should I? Because it's way too much. But it's always good to see what the owners would expect, because maybe they expect a lower price, maybe they just want to move out really quickly, or maybe they expect a high price, and you can still try to get it, but they probably most likely will say no if they expect more than you can offer. But I like to ask any questions. I have this opinion on questions. The more I get older, the more questions I have, and the more happy I feel that I ask all my stupid questions, and I learn a little bit of something new every day, or at least I know what someone thinks or what someone would answer. Like, you're like, what would they say in this situation? I wonder. Just go for it, just do it. In terms of the viewing itself, I don't know, I personally like video call a lot. Like, I don't know why I'm so nervous on YouTube, but I video call every day, almost every day. No, actually more than every day if you count in like Zoom meetings at work. But like my friends and my mom and everybody were so used to like, I'll put you here while I cook, I'll put you here while I study, I put you here while I put my laundry in or fold my laundry, or like the weirdest stuff. So to me it felt a bit like second nature. Like, I don't know that person, so yeah, maybe that made me a little bit nervous, but at the same time it really felt like one of my friends just showing me around their new apartment. And that tends to happen a lot with all of my friends moving all the time and us video calling. It always happens that someone is like, oh, let me just show you my new plant and my new bed, and see how I clean my laundry. Look, it's all my laundry, my wardrobe, I don't know. Like, people would always show me these things, so I'm kind of used to being walked around flat in a way. And it's still the same as asking questions. It's going back to asking questions. Like, if you see a closet that they've not opened but you're kind of curious to see how large it is from the floor plan, just ask them. Like, they could say it's an inconvenience and they can't really open it because they have too much stuff in it and it's gonna fall off and that's gonna be the end of this day, but it's worth asking. So I would always ask all the weird questions, and especially because you can't see things physically yourself. For me, I'm used to asking these things because I'm not very good at like constructions and knowing if this is a new window. I can't tell if it's a new window, so I'm gonna ask, when were the windows installed? Do you have any problems with the window? Do you have any problems with the boiler? I don't know. Like, I would just, even if in the contract is like one, and it's in the contract, no, in the home report, it's like one when you have one for heating or one for windows, it means it's perfect. It's not perfect, but it's working perfectly functional. It doesn't need to be checked. If it's a 2, you should check it. It's recommended to check it, but it's not really broken. If it's a 3, it means it's broken and you need to check it. You need to change it. So I would stay away from everything that is a 3. But 1 and 2s, that's okay. And even if it is a 1, I mean, I would still ask, like, are any of the windows new? Are these the original windows it came to? Is the flooring the same flooring it came to? Have you changed any things about the flat? And I don't have these questions listed because they just come sort of naturally as I see the things. They stay in my head of like, okay, now I've seen the carpets. Are these the new carpets? Oh, I've seen the floorboards. Does it have floorboards all across the flat? Are there any carpets in the flat? It would still kind of come naturally. Maybe I should have actually written them. Next time I would probably write all my questions down just to make sure I don't miss something. But it's just more, I think for me, like virtual viewings, it's more about asking questions, asking many more questions, because you can't rely as much on what you see, but you have to rely more on what the other person is telling you. And if you do decide to make an offer and go for it while you are in quarantine and you can't really see the place physically, I would make sure that it's an amount you are comfortable with and that you are happy with the area and happy with the home report and happy with how it looks in the pictures and the videos, with what the owner says. Like, I would be a bit more strict than I am with just viewing in myself. And I think that's normal. Probably everybody feels a bit. I wouldn't put a lot of money and go crazy over getting a property that I'm not that sure about. So I have to really be sure about. So I'm hoping this was helpful somewhat. I'm not sure if I touched all the points I should have after my virtual viewing, but feel free to ask me things if I missed something, because maybe to me it seems normal and it happened and I don't feel the need to specify it, so I might have missed things. But feel free to ask me if it's something I can help with, and good luck with all your virtual viewings.